Oh. Hello. Can people hear me?
Yes, hello.
we can hear you.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of things to talk about. As usual, I would like to begin with a dev update. Rao, are you on? Yes, looks like you're on. Are you able to give a dev update for this week's past week's work?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I think everybody should be able to see my screen. Yes?
Yes, we could see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just put the link in the chat also first before I get started. Whoops. Wrong one. Let's see. There's the link to the update for today. So we're going to be, it's not ready yet, but we are, it's currently actually in progress. The 0915 release, so it should be ready later today. It has basically a couple of things. It has the new API or the changes to the, it's a new API that Sebastian has worked on. It removes the either and is more of a type-safe API. That's something that the community has been asking for. So that's released now. The other part that primarily is there in this release is the long proposal times. I discussed 4 different streams last week. So most of those streams are complete, and those are all in the release. There are still a couple more additional items in that area that we are working on kicking around, but this should certainly help the long proposal. What we have in there so far in the release should help the long proposals issue quite a bit. So specifically in the long proposal times, we now have the synchrony constraints implemented as a tunable parameter. And there are a couple of network layer things we have done. And then there is the estimator performance has been looked at by Daniel. So one of these network items was done by Sebastian. The second one actually about Casper waiting on the queues and all that. And the first one about block hashes instead of blocks was completed by Martin. Daniel did the estimator performance stuff. We are, in addition to the synchrony constraint, which is all about how much of the stake of others than yourself, meaning if so for your for consensus, the weight is based on all as a percentage of the stake of all the other validators other than yourself. So that's the that's what we're calling the synchrony constraint. It's basically a stake-based rule. But in the recent conversations, we thought that additionally putting in fairness constraints, because if there is rabbiting behavior or something like that, because the performance of the network and the resources supplied by the nodes is a different orthogonal thing to what's the stake issue. So we are thinking that some kind of a fairness constraints would help the issue further. So in terms of modeling it or thinking through it, we're just beginning to look into that issue. But I would encourage you to test what is out there or what will be out there later today in the testnet with your contracts and see and report any issues that you're seeing.